Friends, Namaskar. Welcome to our YouTube channel Open Secret. This is your friend Ashish Chand. In our last short video, we covered the topic Be Like This. As I explained you there, now we are continuing to get deeper into the main theme of our channel Open Secret, and today's discussions will be on the first part of the chapter, which can be rightly called You. We will discuss about you, the professional. Friends, this should also be termed something like the professional's enigma. The question is deep. कुछ तो रहस्य है इसमें. Something deep is hidden in it. क्या बात है, क्या कारण है that you are a successful professional, of course, but the future is as if absent. तुम चाहो या ना चाहो, तुम्हें मालूम है that nothing is certain. कुछ भी मिलने की उम्मीद नहीं है. And what may happen in future is not known. Friends, if this question is answered plainly, then it will not be wrong to say that the mistake is only yours. गलती तुम्हारी ही है. परंतु यह कहना भी गलत होगा. विचित्र देश है हमारा, अलग सा देश है हमारा. लॉन्गेस्ट लिविंग सिविलाइजेशन है हमारे यहाँ. Perhaps we have become too evolved. बहुत अधिक व्यवस्थित हो चुके हैं हम. अब हमारे भीतर कोई भी चेंज आना मुश्किल है. शायद इसी कारण कुछ भी होता ही नहीं. Let me tell you that we propose to be a little organization towards such professionals only. Our aim is that professionals should have a strengthened future. And to define once again, the definition of professional is very simple. That you have been lucky enough to be into a school, you did fine enough to go to a good college, you did belong to a beautiful family, and based on these three you could get a good job, a decent career, and also you are married, you have one or two children, and an aspiring future. This is the definition of the professional we are talking about, and this professional's enigma is what is being discussed in this last phase of our personas series. Okay. Remember, this applies to you whatever profession you may be in. You may be an engineer or a doctor or an expert in any other field, department, technology, management, or sciences. You may be a teacher or an artist, a theologian, a philosopher, a lawyer, or in any field of applied sciences or otherwise. You may belong to service industry, trade, consultancy, insurance, or any other allied arenas. Yes, the politicians and the entrepreneurs may not be generally benefited from our thought process. अलग होते हैं वो, reached या never to reach kind of generations. But then this group may be assisted in their ventures. It is up to them. And then we have got so many others, our workers, our own people, larger family. Know that they are all to be taken along, but you must sail through first. You must go overboard first. Okay. It is both impractical and foolish to imagine that you clear their responsibility without yourself having been graduated first in the world of living. That is not the way. Your profession is of personal importance to you, but your being the professional is of importance to your people and to the society you belong to. You are the professional, and that is important. Your one important requirement is surely that you need to achieve security, stability, and happiness. Security, both in terms of financial and social security, stability, both in terms of satisfaction and peace of mind, and happiness in terms of growth and even pleasures. Our goal is bringing emphasis to your unwritten requirements, unwritten plans. And yes, performing on such stage is greatly rewarding too. You ought to find growth in you. So this is the definition of the professional as we consider. Our methods, evident to you by now, is very clear. The difference between Vidya and Shiksha, which has been grossly manipulated in our lives. The race has been infused in our living, even in our psyches. We have been busy, and that is a fact. Friends, such styles of living produce only certain kind of seniors. That is another one more problem. And it is obvious that there ought to be dire scarcity of able and dedicated guides in such a scenario who understand the language and mannerisms of the professionals, who are able to devote time and energy in channelizing the thoughts to this effect, and those who have the necessary inclination and to collate the widespread data on these paths. Yes, there exist available in the market a collection of educators, great achievers, big names in their own sense, but they are not thinkers into your problems. They are service providers based on collation of copybook literature and scriptural knowledge. They are orators, not orienters. We believe that enough knowledge is available around, but the available knowledge is dated and is not exactly what is suited to you. In fact, the abundance of this material and abundance has made the very subject of one's self improvement eternally corrigible. To search what suits the Indian professional is the task. That is where we pitch in. Okay? Each man has the lotus in his heart, yet the professional is one who has studied life and tasted victory. Now you can become the chapter itself. That is your goal, and the same is our aim. Friends, when deliberating on personas, we talked about many important personalities of India. We talked about many saints in general, trying to bring out the ideation of how to look into the lives of these great people. You know, in the same continuation, once I what I did was that I started writing names of certain saints in order to find what their lives had been in general. So I just tabulated them by way of the name, the big names, the place of birth, parents, guru, spouse, and general life these saints had undergone. You know, and I what I found is that I picked up names from very early periods, Puranic periods, to as late as Vivekananda, you know, 1900. So names. What I found is, friends, let us just try to read them out. Vivekananda, he did not marry, no marriage. Ramakrishna married, Sharda Devi, and right from the day one he took her as a goddess kind of a thing, and that was the relation. Rahim Das ji was Mohammedan by his background, and he married three women. So Indian context that does not fit in so easily. Tulsi Das, he had a very rough married life. You must be knowing. Ratnavali cursed him. Okay. Mirabai, her husband died, and then she had a very tough life from family background. And then we have Ravi Das, Kabir Das, and Sukhdev ji, who had a ordinary, generally good, average life. And we have story of Kali Das ji, who had a very rough life as far as the married life was concerned. And then I wrote about Rishi Kardamb, the Manasputra of Brahma, who married Devhuti, daughter of Manu and Shatrupa, the to whom Lord Bhagavan Vishnu took birth as a son with him, and by the name Kapila, who later wrote Sankhya Darshan. This Kadamba Rishi's life story is also very, very interesting. He had a beautiful wife. He did not want to marry. When God wanted him to get married, then God told him that I will take birth with you as a son. It's because you have to take the creation forward. This Kadamba Rishi story we will touch later. Probably, yes, we will later. So, what I found is that averagely, somebody might have had a beautiful, very companion spouse who was very good companion. Somebody had a spouse who had a very companion who was very rough to him or her. And general, in all the three cases, these people became great saints. So once evolving into a fine person is not dependent on circumstances, even spouse. This is a fact which we had known, which I wanted to just take out by way of this little chart, and I found it, and which I'm sharing with you. So friends, the idea of telling you this little thing is that you're becoming great in your life. A very finely evolved persona is not dependent on surroundings, circumstances, even your spouse. That is one thing. In this regard, I reiterate our first chapter, maybe to would be. And in that, maybe to can be is the dharma. Please keep that in mind. I reiterate, that stays. That is a fact. Another little thing which comes out to the professionals of our kind, that remember that this ashram systems in India, you will have hundreds of examples, known examples. Sita left, when Sita had to leave Rama, nobody in the entire, even had to think twice. Okay, going to jungle means no problem. It is going to be something better than whatever is in the palace houses. Prahlad in Satyug, he left for his mother asked to go to jungle. This thing I covered in that book, The Swami, very elaborately. The idea is that India provided for the man's development, maybe to can be, means idea is that has missed now, and that missing is a challenge, opportunity, and a beautiful thing that stays with us. If we can do something about it, if we can know something about it, if we can, it's a big opportunity. I'm not talking of old age homes. I'm talking of education, for the destitute, for the real deserving, that kind of thing. So please think. Let's go ahead. Friends, there is an incident. There's an incident between Sumitra Nandan Pant, one of the very great poets of India, and Acharya Rajneesh, Osho as we call him. इनके बीच में एक dialogue, वार्तालाप, discussion which has become very important regarding saints of India. Sumitra Nandan Pant asked Acharya Rajneesh to tell 12 names, the biggest names of Indian saints. Now, those of us who know Acharya Rajneesh and Sumitra Nandan Pant will be amazed by the answer. If we are covering the chapter on India's personas, probably this little dialogue between these two personalities is the gist of the entire story for us. Acharya Rajneesh covered from 1950 to 3000 BC. Means 5,000 साल के उन्होंने सारे सेंट्स कवर करके सुमित्रा नंदन जी को, पंत जी को 12 नाम गिन दिए। इंपॉर्टेंट। ही सेड कृष्णमूर्ति, रामकृष्ण, मीरा, नानक, कबीर, गोरखनाथ, शंकर, नागार्जुना, महावीर, बुद्धा, Patanjali and Krishna. These are the 12 names. Sumitra Nandan Pant asked, not Ram? He said no. Why? No, I am giving names of those who have made fundamental contribution to our society. रामचंद्र जी तो मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम थे। ही वॉज अ कॉन्टिन्यूएंस के मास्टर थे, फंडामेंटल, समथिंग लाइक नोबेल प्राइज वन हू डज। Then Sumitra Nandan Pant asked, okay, now give me 7 names. Then Acharya Rajneesh said, okay, Kabir, Gorakhnath, Shankar, Mahavir, Buddha, Patanjali and Krishna. He said that Nanak, Meera goes into Kabir. Meera and Ramakrishna get into Krishna, and Krishnamurti gets into Buddha. Nagarjuna also gets into Buddha. Friends, you have to understand this thing. What a great understanding. And Sumitra Nandan Pant asked, okay, give me 5 names. Rajneesh says he found very difficult. But then he said, okay, he dropped Shankar. He said he gets easily into Krishna. And he dropped Kabir. He says Kabir gets into Gorakhnath. Sumitra Nandan Pant बड़े आदमी थे. He said, okay, now give me 4 names. Acharya said, no, it's very difficult. But on lot of thinking, he said, he dropped even Mahavira. He said Mahavira gets into Buddha only. No. So finally he reached 4 names: Krishna, Patanjali, Buddha and Gorakh. Krishna, expression of love. Patanjali, expression of yoga. Buddha, the entire dhyan, bodh, awareness, mind, and Gorakh, process for finding the inner man. Gorakh is the beginning, like a root, like the very foundation stone. Sumitra Nandan Pant said, okay, now give me 3 names. To which Acharya Rajneesh refused. I will not go further down. We have 4 directions minimum, so we have 4 names minimum. It is not possible. So friends, when looking for personas, when looking for ideation, looking for our ideal, our culmination, this dialogue between these 2 saints is very important. I uttered these words again for you, for your basic understanding. Here I am tempted to tell you, friends, Kabir said, Sakal Hans mein Ram viraje. Same thing Buddha also said. He sees Buddhas into everybody. So Kabir also says, Sakal Hans, in each man. A man is being compared with Hans. What a great understanding. Ram viraje. And he goes further to say, राम हमारा हमें जपे, हम पायो विश्राम. राम हमारा हमें जपे, हम पायो विश्राम. This is a very important bhajan of Kabir. So, as per Kabir, Ram is inside us, and so much inside us that he prays us and we get rest. He is inside each one of us. So, the important aspect that emerges is when at the end of your life, when you have to leave, this Rama has to leave you. And if you have caught it very tight, if you have kept Ram in total darkness, thick wall of darkness inside you, then the Ram has to rip you apart to go at that moment. And that is the pain. That is the pain. So as far as you are concerned, be like this, you want to be, you will be. But as far as you are concerned, the basic things are like this. I am not touching the problems, the samasyas of you or the world in which we live. But the you has been touched today. You has been explained today. You has been discussed today. In this regard, friends, one thing I will say in short, this once again like a challenge, like an opportunity, like a you should know that इतना काम बाकी है. When studying this aspect foreign our saints, I found very clearly that the foreign sites give us a meaningful literature collation of the facts of Indian saints, whereas Indian sites, Indian people, Indian literature, Indian books, they fool you like as if you we are born fools. तो ये हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी एक अपॉर्चुनिटी है, एक बहुत बड़ा चैप्टर है, बहुत बड़ा डिस्कशंस का और काम करने की जगह है. 90% of our literature is for exams which are of no use, and the books are of no use come what may. कोई मैंने जब एक एक को डिस्कस किया, even that time I have told, even now I am telling. Foreign sites much better, though they may not understand us, but they do a much clean job. So that is an opportunity for many of us, those who are interested in these fields. However, we will take our chapters forward and get deeper into discussions of open secret. The chapter on you is something like this. I hope I made some clarity into this. Thank you so much. Let God be with us. See to it if we can enhance our viewership. Thank you so much.